Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 21. Only 2 episodes left. Only 2 episodes left. We start off with all of the fighting. This is a big fighting episode. Todo, and Itadori versus Mahito. And it is just a crazy epic battle. Enough said. There's really not much to explain it there. The stills are still pretty bad, as you can see from this still image. Hito cuts off his own head. He splits into a couple pieces, transfigures around, runs around. Todo realizes which one's the stronger one. I believe he gives that one to Itadori. So these transfigured humans, he combines several into one massive transfigured human. And while they still pretty much get KO'd in one hit, because at the end of the day it is a regular person or regular people, they have immense attack strength. They can release all of it, basically all of their energy at the same time for some very powerful, very strong attacks. And Todo does get beat up quite a bit in the process of that happening. We'll go ahead and skip past the intro here. Literally just lots of fighting. He wants to separate them. Obviously, he wants to get Itadori by himself. He wants to kill Todo, but he doesn't really care per se, because this is definitely more of, I guess conflicts of interest, I guess is the best way to describe it. Because ultimately they have similar goals but are on the opposite side of it. Itadori being wanting to get rid of as many evil spirits as he can, and then we have Mahito, who wants to kill all the humans and basically have a world where it's just spirits going around. He expands his domain slightly, and the reason he does it is he learned this trick from Gojo. He doesn't want to fully expand the domain, because if he touches Itadori, it's going to touch Sukuna. Sukuna is going to ultimately kill Mahito. So he is trying to do it in a way where he doesn't actually end up touching Itadori, even though he does for a quick second anyway, or extremely quick enough where he can basically give a sentence to Sukuna and then not be touching him again. So that's exactly what happens. He was like, I'm gonna kill him before the barrier goes down. So essentially, he's like, you most likely have some sort of barrier between you and Itadori that he's thinking that Sukuna created, but I think it's something that Itadori ultimately created, the barrier, so that way Sukuna doesn't take over it and isn't freely destroying the entire world. But he gets out of it pretty quick, ends up touching Todo's arm. Todo doesn't even hesitate. Dude cuts off his arm. And because this is shonen, we all know what that means. He's fine. He's going to live. No big deal. No big issues. Because every time someone loses an arm, apparently they get to live forever. Why that is the thing, I have no idea. It's not always the case. There have been a couple of cases where people die after they get their arm chopped off. But the majority of what I would call main or secondary characters live to see another day. And that is the case here as well. However, Todo gets knocked down pretty good. But then he manages to get up with the help of his best girl, teen idol. Do I remember her name? I sure don't. But he's imagining all of this in his mind. And he's beating down Mahito pretty good. Hito also was able to touch his hand for just like a millisecond, and you can see right here in this image just the pure damage that it has done to him. He is beat up, and he's going down for the count. So Mahito is finally like, I finally figured out what my true form is. I'm going to do ideal configuration of his body, and this is what he comes up with. So essentially, it is still him under all of this, but heavily plated body armor is essentially what you need to know. So Itadori is fighting. He was like, all right, what makes this form different from his past form? It's like after experiencing Black Flash, he finally understood. So after he got hit with Black Flash, he finally understood, what he needs to do. And he's like, this is totally different than what's happened before. They're going back and forth. I mean, you have Itadori's jaw literally like socked open. As you can see there, big cut. He's got some major injuries going on here. They're fighting back and forth, but the previous Black Flash definitely hurt him. So what I didn't realize is that Black Flash isn't something that seems to be conscious. Apparently, it's something that kind of happens subconsciously, but I guess that it's happening while it's happening because you see characters calling out the name of it. So Itadori is trying to make Black Flash, I guess his own thing, and commanding it to his will, which I thought he could already do that. So I was definitely a little bit confused here because I thought, Black Flash was just a move that you could do whenever you wanted. But it takes a lot of cursed energy, so you gotta, wait a few hits in between to store some stuff up. But apparently that is not the case. I want to see here if I can find out where it says it. I want to see if I can find it. Let's see here. It's somewhere right around here, if I can find it. No sorcerer can consciously. So Black Flash with maximum. So basically he cursed energies. Okay, so no sorcerer can consciously use Black Flash with maximum curse energy. So that is what Itadori is trying to do here. And he actually is able to do it. And apparently, Todo gets back up. My Boogie Woogie is dead. Itadori decks him really hard with max power Black Flash. And, Itadori still doesn't technically have a technique. I don't know if he will ever have a technique, if he needs one. Because, at this point in time, he's mastering Black Flash. He is beating the crap out of Mahito, as he deserves. And then he kind of comes to a realization that he didn't want to agree to what he said, but it's true. He was like, even if you change your name, if you change your look, as long as I'm alive, I will find you and I will kill you. Even, when I'm old of age, if I die and I come back, and you die and you come back, it'll basically be just a never-ending battle, even if we're just cogs in a machine. So we get this scenery, which I think is just all happening in Mahito's head. And essentially, he is the injured rabbit running away from the rabid wolf pack. At this point in time, that last Black Flash really did the trick. Injured him irreparably, essentially, because he's not able to heal himself. His leg is jacked up, all twisted up. He's succumbed to just like throwing dirt and rocks at Itadori. Going back and forth. And then we end with Geto apparently showing up. So, we already knew from the previous episode, or was it maybe 2 episodes ago, that Gojo was fully sealed. So Gojo is going to be stuck until they get him out. In the present state of how beat up Itadori is, and knowing Geto's techniques, without further support, I don't see him being able to defeat Geto as well. I wasn't expecting Geto to show up. I was kind of just expecting him to allow all of these curses to die, and then he would go and find other curses later on. So he's going to show up and help Mahito. Maybe he's got something he can give to Mahito for him to heal. I'm not really sure. But Mahito is finally defeated. It's been a hard fought battle. Yeah, hard fart battle. But I am not really sure what's going to happen here. Obviously, there's going to be some sort of confrontation, I'm assuming, between Geto. It says, Transformation Part 2 is the next episode. Some sort of crazy something's going to happen next episode. I don't know what. I'm assuming it's going to be more of a fight, or maybe he'll, essentially he doesn't really care, I would say, about Itadori. He was trying to get Sukuna on his side in order to defeat Gojo, and that's already happened. Gojo is trapped, so I also wouldn't be surprised if he just kind of grabs Mahito and gets out of there. but basically mission accomplished. Let's regroup. Let's get our forces larger again, and then if they want to attack again, they have the ability to do so. That's kind of my guess of what's probably going to happen for next episode. And I mean, we're on episode 21. There's only 2 episodes left in the season, so we got to wrap it up at this point. You got to just wrap it up, get everything done, out of the way, good to go. As for rating wise, this one's going to get an 8 out of 10. I feel like they wrapped up the beating of Mahito a little bit too easily. I wasn't expecting it to happen all in just kind of one episode, and it kind of did. So, I mean, and then also you got the still images that are still pretty rough because of Lord Emperor Mappa forcing animators to work until they drop. So, there's that too, which is never pleasant. But I'm kind of just curious where Mahito came from, because obviously, he came from humans too, but I'm wondering if maybe Itadori was the one that brought Mahito into existence. That would be kind of neat, knowing that. But I doubt they're going to tell us. I doubt we're going to get that information. But who knows? Maybe we will. Excellent episode overall. I enjoyed it. Hope you did too. If you liked this, hit that subscribe, notification bell, like, share, all that fun stuff. And stay tuned tomorrow for a Dr. Stone review. Thank you for watching. And as always, have a good one.